Hi everyone and welcome to this week's Whittlesey and surrounding areas property news update. So let's take a look at what's been happening in the local market. Now, something really important to highlight is that often we struggle to get truly hyper-local data because the figures provided tend to cover the whole of PE7 postcode, and that includes areas like Yaxley and Hampton, which often aren't directly relevant to what we're focusing on, just on the Whittlesey and surrounding areas data. So sometimes the information can be like distorted and it's trying to find out what's actually going on. But we're excited to share that we now have a new data source that allows us to generate hyperlocal insights, and for this week we've broken everything down to specifically focus on Whittlesey. So one thing that we've been looking at and what the data is showing is that the average asking price of all homes currently available to buy in Whittlesey is £301,311. So that's the asking price of all homes currently available to buy. So on a price per square foot basis, that's £262. So in comparison to the average price achieved for homes sold in Whittlesey over the last 12 months was £245,835 or £254 per square foot. So again, what we can also see from the data that we've been provided is of the properties currently available on the market, 37.2% of the homes currently available have had their prices reduced since being first listed. What we'll do is we'll touch upon that again in future episodes. I know we've covered that previously. So now look at what's been going on across all agents in the area. So what we can see is in the last 7 days, there's been a total of 19 properties released. 4 of those were bungalows. There were 2, 3 and 4 bedrooms, so the mixture of bungalows, bedroom sizes there. There was 1 2-bedroom flat and 7 detached houses. Of the detached houses, the most common was 3-bedroom, but there was a mixture of 2, 3, 4 and there was also a 5-bedroom within that's been released. 4 terraced houses, and then there were 2 unspecified. So often that can be shared ownership properties that have come on. So that's where you rent a portion and then own a portion. And again, the figure tends to equate whatever the percentage split is there. There was also a plot of land that's been released as well. So now coming on to the sales over the last week, we can see that there were 8 properties that have been sold. So just important to note that once a property is marked as sold subject to contract, usually the estate agent has to go through checking proof of funds and having the ID verified. So sometimes there can be a slight delay on it being marked sold subject to contract. And then that kind of progresses the sale and kind of keeps everything updated. So the breakdown of those properties were 3 bungalows, there were 3 detached houses, 1 3-bedroom terraced property, there was 1 3-bedroom semi-detached house, and then also this then reflects a steady week of activity. So what we can see is a mixture of what's been sold, a mixture of what's coming on. So things are continually changing and coming on all the time. So as always, if you'd like to discuss anything in specific, please do get in touch. And if you're not already, please do follow our Facebook page to keep up to date with what's going on, because again, things are changing all the time. There's always lots of updates, lots of things going on that we can't keep including in just the weekly updates. So for now, if you did want to discuss anything with us, our telephone number is 01733 641030. So have a good week and I'll see you all next week. Take care then, bye bye.